6 klingers eller en guld kongepick.
This next trick works really well, especially if your opponent is trying to heal, or you just wanna take some of his builds, or at least try to take some of his builds without getting hit. As we all know, when you stand like this and pickaxe this, if your opponent is half decent at the game, he'll most likely just do like this, and edit like this, and then pump you. And it's just really hard to compete against a person hiding in a box. But if you do like this, he will almost be unable to edit on you and get a kill, because you're trying to take his floors. And then if he tries, you might get his floor, and then he tries to edit out, and you just get a big advantage over him. You can also waste his mats with this trick, so I just think this trick works really well. This next trick is really underrated in my opinion, because it works really well, but most people don't even do it, even though they know this trick. But it's really OP in my opinion, because when you start building up a little bit before your opponent, you always get a little bit of height advantage. And then because you have this height advantage, you can build 2 cones like this, and then when your opponent builds up, he'll be unable to place a ramp right here, so he'll most likely get caught off guard staying with his paper out trying to build something, and you can just get an easy shut off on him. This trick is more for end game scrims, because this works really well against your opponents, because they most of the time don't expect it. But let's say you've built a box like this, you can edit like this and then jump up in your cone and hide in the cone. And this works the best if you're using metal or brick, because if you use wood, you'll be able to get seen really easily by your opponents, and metal also has a harder time getting destroyed. But yeah, I think this trick works really well, especially if you sit in your cone, and then let's say your opponent has to rotate because the zone is coming. You can just wait for him, and he won't even hear you, and he might think you've already rotated and it's just some metal builds from earlier, and you can just edit on him and pump him. Yeah, and just a follow-up on what I just told you, you can also use this if you're low on mats in late game scrims. You don't need to build a box all the time, because sometimes your opponents won't even be focusing you, and you're just building a box for no reason. So you can just do like this and maybe pop some minis, and then if your opponent tries to take the cone, you can build walls around you like this, and then edit out and place a cone on the floor like that, and then place traps if you have any, or just edit out to get away from him. So I just think that's a really effective trick. This next trick is really good in endgame when you want to use your launch pad, but you don't have to go that far. You're just using the launch pad to save some of your mats. You can just build a launch pad right here, and then edit this, and then place a ramp, and then jump onto the launch pad, and then you'll get launched forward instead of up in the air, because when you get launched up in the air, there's a higher chance of you getting lasered, but the chance of you getting lasered isn't that high here. There's also another variant of this where you just build a launch pad and then place a cone over it, and then go out here and just edit the 2 pieces in whatever direction you want. Let's say you wanted this direction, you can do like that. Okay, what I'm gonna show you now is just what you have to do when you're trying to take someone's wall when they're in a box and you try to W key them. If you are trying to take his wall like this, you want to always take your shotgun out after you pickaxe the wall, because if you do like this and pickaxe it twice before pulling your shotgun out, he will expect you to pickaxe twice before pulling your shotgun out, and then when you pickaxe once, he knows that you're gonna pickaxe again, and he'll just edit on you and get an easy shot off. So you want to have your shotgun out as much as you can. But if you then get one of the walls, I would recommend that you don't just shoot, because you can just build a ramp and edit out. But I would recommend that you, instead of just trying to shoot him, build a ramp over him so he can't edit out, and then edit on him and pump him. And if you don't get the ramp and he edits out, you can always just do like this and then edit on him and then pump him, because he most likely won't expect the wall.